Welcome to Sunday Mornings with Enlightenism. I'm Brother Malcolm.
I'm Sister Carolyn.
And we are here today to share some Enlightenism insights with you about a new way to think and live, the Enlightenism way. Sister Carolyn is going to get us started. She is an Enlightenism practitioner, teacher, workshop facilitator, and a lady who is sharing a new way to think and live with you, so you can tune in and learn something about Enlightenism and how to change how you think and live. She's very good at the work that she's doing to transform her own life. I give you Sister Carol.
Thank you, Brother Malcolm. Good morning. I'm Sister Carolyn, Enlightenism teacher and consciousness practitioner, and I welcome you to our Enlightenism broadcast. And we are always talking about a new way to think and live. Not only do we talk about a new way to think and live, but we live from this beingness in our life. And it certainly is a new way to think and live. And one of the things that one does on the road to Enlightenism is you must discard and unlearn those ideas and notions that created the person that does not respond, that is not who you want to be. And you understand this in so many events in your life. But one of the things that I was unwilling to do was to change my life. And one of the things that I talk to and teach my students is that one must be willing to change their life. If you're not willing to change your life, then you get the same responses, you make the same responses over and over again. You continue to live on the outside of yourself and not understand the power that you were born with. Enlightenism teaches that you are born whole, perfect, and complete, faceless, formless, and colorless. And you have everything that you will ever need for the journey. You are not lacking in anything. You are not limited in anything. And whatever conditions that you have in your life, you have brought them into your life by depending on others to tell you who you are. And what I mean by this is when you were born in this world, we have guardians that are over us, that decide what is best for us, that decide who we are, that decide how we look, if we're okay or if we're not okay, that decide for us directly and indirectly what we want to become when we grow up. And so all of these notions are given to us. And as young children, we simply accept what we've been taught. And since this has become a pattern, we continue to do that in our lives. We continue to accept this through the educational process, through the social process, through the political process, through the religious process, through the family process. We continue to accept these notions. And what Enlightenism says is that you are born whole, perfect, and complete, faceless, formless, and colorless. And you have everything that you will ever need for the journey. So you're not lacking in anything unless that is a condition that you've brought into your life and you believe that you're lacking. and you believe that you're of a certain race, of a certain gender. And so all these things flood your beingness. And whenever you respond, you are responding from all the notions that you've been taught. And what we say, that you were born with a power. You were born having everything that you will ever need for this journey. And somehow along the way, we've accepted the notion that that's not true. And so we keep trying to bring things in our lives to make us happy, to make us more happy. If we have more status, if we have a bigger house, if this would happen, if that would happen. So we continue that outside influence in our life. And when we get to the notion where this is no longer true for us, or that we're feeling angry, frustrated, tired, overworked, and whatever else happens on this journey, to bring us to a point where we're just sick and tired of trying to live our life for others, then we come to that place of change, that we come to that place of understanding that this will just keep happening unless we do something about understanding who we are in all of these situations, or else this will continue until time is no more for us. And what I know is when you get to the point of understanding that there is a new way to think and live, that is why this broadcast is on the air. This broadcast is on the air so that you are not dragging generational toxicity and all of the other notions that you've been taught about what you need to do to get to heaven. That's why this broadcast is on the air. This broadcast is on the air for clear messaging, for understanding that you have the freedom within you that you were born with, that you are okay, that you are not lacking in anything. And the only thing that you're lacking in right now is understanding who you are. And that is where Enlightenism comes in. When we open this broadcast, we say, you were born whole, perfect, and complete, faceless, formless, and colorless, and have everything that you will ever need for the journey. And that is where you began. One of the things that we have written up in all of our books and our works is for you to address who you are, not with some approval notion from Brother Malcolm, myself, or some family member, or someone outside of you. It is about understanding that this power is within you. And that when you understand how to use this power and how you've misused it by giving the power to others to allow them to tell you who you are. You know in every experience your awareness of being. That is what Enlightenism asks. Who are you aware of being? Enlightenism states, I am greater than the I that I created. You are on the path of Enlightenism. I am greater than the I that I created. When you understand, as we take lessons from the 10 principles of Enlightenism, and the first one says, I acknowledge that I am responsible for the current conditions in my life. When you understand that you have the power to unlearn, to change, to unlearn those generational models that has been put before us, all of the rhetorical talk that we use to keep us as victims. When you understand that the power is within you, and that you understand that whatever conditions are in your life are the conditions that you have brought into your life, and that you're operating from, that you're making your decisions from. That is why in the world of toxicity, when we make a decision that we don't think is so good, we can run to our peers, our family members, our counterparts, or whatever, present the situation, and then tell them what we did. And they'll say, oh yeah, that's right. Or, oh no, you shouldn't have done that. Because with Enlightenism and being an Enlightenist, you don't need to do that. Because you understand that you have the power within you to change your life. You understand the statement, I am greater than the I that I created. You understand opening statements that have been given not for me personally to tell you how you should take that statement in. You take it in from your awareness of being. You change the model of your beingness by understanding that you have the power within to change the way that you think and live. With Enlightenism, you understand your awareness of being, and you needn't ask anyone who you are. Our book, Enlightenism, is available. You can go to the Bi Society website, which means Build Your Enlightenism. That is the path that Brother Malcolm and I are always on. And purchase the book, Enlightenism, written so eloquently by Brother Malcolm. And now it's time for Brother Malcolm to do his part in the Enlightenism broadcast. So here's Brother Malcolm, creator of Enlightenism.
Thank you, Sister Carolyn.
Thank you.
And hey, we have the great book,
Absolutely.
Enlightenism.
A new way to
A
think
new
about
way
it.
to think and live. Enlightenism, a new way to think and live. The power within. I'm Brother Malcolm. The power within is what? Consciousness. Unconditioned consciousness. The divine power. Some people call it the power of God. It is a greater power than we have been taught in this world from others. It's a greater power. There's no doubt about it. But when we rely upon and depend upon previous generations for power and clarity, then we follow in their footsteps. Hence, Enlightenism, the emphasis on a new way to think and live in the 21st century. A new way to think and live. We're not following in the previous generation's footsteps. We honor the previous generation, obviously. My parents, grandparents, and so forth. They did what they chose to do based upon what was happening in their lives. The good thing is they allowed me to live, and they allowed you to live. They didn't kill us. They didn't abandon us in many instances. They tried to help us. But that does not mean that we have to stay stuck and experience the pain and suffering that they did. And the way out of the pain and suffering is not to get to a place that other people outside have denied you. Many people thought that, oh, if we get the civil rights, if we can stay wherever we want to stay, we can work wherever we want to work, that everything would be fine. Well, that happened, basically, and it's not fine. People are in pain today, in their minds, in their bodies. They're still in pain. So what is the way out of pain? The way out of pain is to change how you think and live. How do you change how you think and live? By letting go of what other people have told you about the way you should think and live. And because someone is denying you something, what you think are rights, that doesn't mean that it's actually impacting you. The only thing impacts you is when you desire something that someone is denying you. Then the desires become toxic. Then they suffocate you. They stifle all of your creativity because now you want that which someone is denying you. You know, it's kind of like on a personal level. You want the woman that's denying you. Now you really want her because you like her. And she fulfills all of the things that you have in your mind. And then you can enter into the relationship, and a year later, 5 years later, it becomes toxic. And that's what happened in the fight for change in the outside world. You got into the places, and then you discovered it wasn't what you thought it was, because you were the one that created the desire and the beliefs that if you could have what is being denied to you, everything would make you feel better. It's not the way it works. Our parents would be really honored. They were in the world today, in my case. In the case of some of you that are new to the world, when I say new, I mean like in your 20s and 30s. You're relatively new in the world. And so you're learning your way in the world. But as you learn your way into the world, you're carrying forth beliefs and values that you receive from your parents. And your parents and society, your teachers and so forth. And I am saying your parents, if you decide to change how you think and live, and you and your parents can see the glow in you, in your eyes, in your mannerism, they would feel proud of you. That you would have been able to do something they were unable to do. I am doing something my mother was unable to do. Work in the mind. Create a new belief system about who I am and who other people are. And to understand that the only peace that I will ever have in my life must come from me and my beliefs about who I am. And that if I have all of the money and all of the positions in the world, I still will not have myself. I will have an illusion of myself. Illusion of yourself is when you create a desire in your mind that you want something and you believe. See, people believe that, well, if you have a black president, everything's going to be fine. And black people, and many people, whites, blacks, and others, believed it. They believed that if this is what was driving people to live and think the way that they were thinking and living, well, if we changed it, this is for all people. See, it's not just the black people felt this way or thought this way. White people did too, and other people, Asians and Latinos and everybody else. Then you found out it didn't work. Things did not change. Why? Because the people didn't change. See, the people had the same mindset. And then you would cry, great cry went out. If we could have, we being the people that are denied, the African American people and others who feel denied about their rights to function and think and live the way you perceive other people think and live. So then you say, well, hey, it didn't work. He can't do anything. I'm still in pain. I'm still suffering. And then the other people, the whites and others, can say, well, he didn't do anything. He didn't change anything. He neglected everything. Now you're right back where you started. Do you want to continue to live this way? Where you are focusing on some mythical ideas that you heard about the past, about Moses leading his people out of the promised land, God opening up the sea, Moses going through and all of the Israelis going through, and the Egyptians enter in and they all perish. Well, we know that didn't happen. That's not the way the Egyptian society collapsed. We know this. We know this at least from what other people have done the research, the historical research. So if you believe this type of thing, then you start looking for it. You start desiring it. So the people that have been enslaved in their minds are looking for a Messiah, a deliverer, a Moses. And so every person that comes along, you say, is he the one? Is she the one? But what has not been decided, see, Moses was not talking about what I'm talking about. See, Moses was not talking about the power within. Moses was talking about God giving him something, taking him to the land of milk and honey, which was supposed to be a peaceful, heavenly place. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you have the power in you to give yourself freedom. You have the power within you to live in a heaven, to live in a mindset where you are free of all of this. You're not seeking a Messiah. You're not waiting on a Messiah to come back. Somebody, come back now into the world. A human being that's going to liberate you from all of the stuff that you have created in your mind. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And like other people waiting on someone to come, it didn't happen. And the only way you can change how you think and live is to work yourself changing how you live. If you can change yourself so that you become a glow in your own life, you become an image in your own life that you can appreciate, then you'll understand like what Sister Carolyn and I are talking about. We're talking about you having the power. Not out here fighting with all of these other people like previous generations did. You create one person, you, freeing yourself in your household, in your neighborhood. Your glow, your light shines to all of the people around you. And then the neighborhood changes.
Absolutely.
The neighborhood changes because the people have changed. Leaders cannot change how you think and live.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They only affirm your desires or what you think you want. But Enlightenism and this book, we open up the book because we want you to know a little bit more about Enlightenism.
Absolutely.
And we want you to support the work that we're doing so we can disseminate the information to more people. Absolutely. Become a subscriber. Go to YouTube, become a subscriber of YouTube broadcast. Go to X or Twitter, subscribe to the page. Become a follower on Facebook, Instagram. Why? Yes. More people need to know about this.
Yes.
And the more people that know about it, the better we will all be in letting go the chain of generational dependency on others. And we are living in this world today to create a new way to think and live. And we enjoyed you stopping by. You can go to the National BYE Society on our webpage. Check it out.
Absolutely.
Sister Carolyn and I are doing what we can to change our lives, and we're sharing the information with all of you.
We are.
And thank you for stopping by.
Thanks for listening. Enlightenism, a new way to think and live.
Enlightenism. See you next time, folks.